The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the new Hallmark of Greatness show that takes you into the country and slides you down the zipline of Hallmark and made-for-TV movies. I'm Joe, and with me as always, with his brand new cloak purchased from the Cardboard City, it's James.
Hello, everyone. I've got nothing. I'm drained by that film.
I'm still recovering. And he's back. He's currently settling a dispute with his mobile phone provider as he doesn't want to pay for under-the-sea roaming, especially for dead ghosts. It's Planty.
There's more to Hallmark of Greatness than this. Oh no, that was last week.
Are we just using this to insult Mono and Kira now?
Right.
Right.
That's what I do on my own podcast, so why not do it here as well?
Yeah, well, double down. Yes. If you would like to keep up to date with all the Hallmark and Greatness gossip, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark and Great, all one word, the Instagram, Facebook, Threads, down the docks, throw a letter up your chimney. That'll come to us like in Santa Claus the movie. Yeah,
that's what we love about Sundays. No post.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, how was your time away, Mark? Did you spend it doing like fun things, like going to the garden centre?
I actually have been to a garden centre in that meantime. I went to KFC once. That's rubbish, isn't it? I'm going back there again. And no one calls you boss when they serve you, so it's not quite as good as the local equivalents. And I watched some better films for my podcast for fucking once. Imagine that.
To be fair, Thingy is a good film.
The Warriors is great. The Hard Way, a little lesser.
Well, I then rewatched The Warriors, even though I only recently rewatched it when Mono and Kira did it as well. And I was like, I kind of also, I don't know whether you're up for it or something, I don't know how it'll work, but of like doing a playthrough of the game at some point.
Oh, 100%. I watched probably about 20 minutes worth of the game, and it's horrifying looking stuff by today's standards.
Yeah,
it looks like Lawnmower Man. It really does.
Yeah, but then it was just you going on about Manhunt as well, and I was like,
I
forgot about Manhunt.
Yeah, I really want to watch. I want to watch just Manhunt because I just
dove someone's head in with a brick. Yeah. But yeah, did you eat at the garden centre? Because we're approaching that age now where that's where we go to eat.
Absolutely. Where on earth do you get the kind of money to eat at a garden centre? Somebody's doing all right.
I just take it off old people's plates because they don't know. I just distract them.
Oh, wait, Pete, that's...
Yeah, no, I just tell them to go and walk around the garden, go and do a Captain Tom, and they can have as much bedding soil as they want.
You just have to pretend to be a porcelain heron or something, don't you? And they
just leap out at them.
One of them statues from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll finish them off.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
That was one of our Barney's biggest fears is that when she got married, I was contemplating buying one of the giant cardboard thingy ones out and like putting it in the shower of their hotel room and stuff. But I thought she'd never speak to me again. Like, that's not wow. But yeah. Anyway, shit, film. Yeah.
Anything to not talk about this, I guess.
This week's film. "2020's Nature of Love," or as when I looked it up on IMDb, Love and Glamping.
Yes.
Which is not even like they've just come up with that title and gone, right, same old Hallmark thing, send a glamping. Like, it's not even, at least Nature of Love's quite clever.
It's a real Alan Partridge. It's just a title at the minute. I think I prefer Love and Glamping.
But it's not even like, there's not a film called Love and Camping. There probably is a Hallmark film called Love and Camping.
Carry On Glamping, that's what they ought to have gone with.
That's definitely what was he called? Claus or whatever, the mobile, the little golf cart driving boy.
Oh, Klaus, yeah.
Chase.
Yeah.
Chase. I knew it was not a real name.
Yeah, and it was a bank.
His first name's Kiss.
It should have been.
Anyway.
That's the goodness.
What? Because there's a staff of 3 people that work at this massive site. Before we get into the liquid, pollen-filled horror of this week's film, let us fire up the machine.
Just let the doctor settle on that one. Yes. Okay, first of all, an apology to the listeners. We said that we'd keep this podcast free from adverts, but in today's current economic climate, it's just not viable. So the costs for the Mecha Story Interpreter of Azerbaijan have risen over the last couple of years, particularly for the price of tin, you know how it is. And we had to bring in outside sponsorship as a result.
We need to get one of those Mr. Plutoniums from Back to the Future on the
just just empty a beer into it.
Just put all my used tissues and Mark's socks in there, that sort of stuff.
Today's plot is brought to you by Cheese. It could be you. The Nature of Love, 2020, as it turns out. It wasn't 2023. YouTube lied to me. The Nature of Love. Geraldine Love. Geraldine Nature. I'm spoiling the plot now. Geraldine Nature is a small-town worker at the old business factory who finds herself having to break even financially, or else Mr. Film will do mad stuff around her locale. As events ensue, Geraldine becomes acquainted with Evan Love, a soccer coach who never said a bad word about your man. Events take a turn when they're pursued by the Buckfast months for an unspecified infraction, and the unlikely duo are forced to become all chummy. Will they tend to one another physically? To some extent.
Several things. First of all, is that the advertising slogan for Cheese? I like how everyone's just doing bits now. It's great. This is what it's all about. The old business factory.
The blurb factory, as it turned out, isn't it?
Oh, and also Buckfast monks.
Yeah, they're a right bunch of mad bastards.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine that'll make you see God. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that.
Aren't they?
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth its weight in advertising, worth its weight in tin. Now you've got me bemoaning not only the closure of the coal mines in Britain, but the closure of the tin mines in Britain, which I assume was at least 150 years before I was born.
I was going to say they probably did it to themselves anyway. Cornish, they voted for Brexit. And now they're slowly eroding into the sea.
Half a savoury pasty, half a sweet pasty. Crazy bastards.
I've seen the big-eared boys on farms. The actual synopsis for this. City girl Katie is writing a magazine feature on a glamping resort. Far from sporty, she faces her fears trying the camp's activities with help from Will, a rugged outdoorsman and nature guide. And I'm going to say, shags at least 2 lasses a season. Because, he's proper
basically
Dirty Dancing it, yeah.
Well, I was going to say Matteo out of Benidorm, but yeah, okay.
Well, yeah. I was going to say Matteo out of Superstore. That's very different.
Yeah, I thought you were.
Very unlikely. Most unlikely.
Happened. Yeah. We're back on track anyway, because this is our bread and butter, quintessential Hallmark. We can rattle this off in 15 minutes and I'll go down the pub. We start with also I know I've said it before, but is all this the same music in every goddamn film?
I know. I noticed the music because
I always think it's replacement music for YouTube videos, but it's not, is it? It's the actual thing.
There's someone writing this because it's copyrighted, copywritten. So you can't use it. But I found stuff that sounds really, really similar, and I'm kind of tempted to just have it under as a bed all the way through our episodes, just to really annoy people, because that's what we need.
Sure. Yeah. No, that's when we need less listeners.
Yeah, we do all right. We open as we always do with an establishing shot of city. No clues as to where that is. I'm going to guess it's supposed to be New York.
Chicago? No, I was thinking there's a river through it with those particular bridges over. I'm pretty sure I've done a grind on those in Tony Hawk's.
If that's what they call it these
in
days.
Reality.
While bogling to Aswad. Yeah. And we are introduced. Oh, I need to bring up my actual notes now, not just the thingy. To the heroine, in the least possible word, of this film, Katie.
She's a writer of sorts. She writes blurbs.
Yeah, blurbs. Get me blurbs. I want the blurbs now, Sabrina.
I want 8 words of blurbs
about what this stinks of, mate.
About this perfume.
She wants them in 20 words or less. I think you mean fewer, Sabrina.
Oh,
some editor you are.
Oh, indeed. Where's the grammar klaxon? But the thing is, right, that jar of perfume she brings in as well, that's enough for the entire British Navy to put on. There's loads of it. It's like you get down the market, or that woman who cuts my hair sometimes tries to sell me knockoff fragrances. And she gives it this whiff, and she's like, I can't even remember what it was. Did you count
It's
the words?
like reading Jane Austen in an English country garden. So like reading Jane Austen anywhere then.
In
right?
the rain.
Damp.
This is for the Modern Woman magazine.
Oh.
I wish I could have just seen what the other scoops that they had on the front covers that had been framed all around the office were. I couldn't make it out, sadly.
No. There was bits where I tried to zoom in and it just didn't. And her boss gets a phone call. Oh no, Susan is injured.
She's got the
She's
shits.
fallen into a thresher or something. Don't know.
This season's hot threshers.
It's an unfortunate yachting accident.
And she's on assignment next week. And Katie's like, "Oh, I'll do it then, because I don't want to sit here writing 20." I mean, that's the easiest job in the world,
Does
isn't
sound
it?
like a piece of piss. Like,
if I could do that,
if you have
on me cock, like, I'd be done by 10.
No plans for your life at all. Just do that.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just write stuff on the back of a fag packet.
You don't even have to get paid. Yeah.
Would you like to write 2,000 words instead? Yes, I would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No,
Work at it, please.
No.
Yeah.
I'd like to write 10 words, given the option.
Even 2,000
double my
words isn't a
workload.
lot of words.
That's
like
what
a
I
couple of
thought.
sides of A4.
So they go anyway. She goes into the office with Sabrina, the magazine bitch, and she basically says, right, so she's going glamping, and Katie goes, "What's glamping?" And I'm like, "It's 2020. Glamping's old hat at this point. They've been doing it on four in a bed for years." And she goes, like, "What? With bears and tents in the woods?" And she was like, "No, it's a cross between glamour and clamping. It's a portmanteau." Although with Sabrina, she'd probably say it's a portmanteau or something like that. There's some interesting pronunciations in this film as well, I will say. And she's like, "Oh, I'll do it." And she's like, 2,000 words. And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. I am a city girl after all."
And all I know is blurb.
Yeah.
I had to look up, by the way, because blurb is such a weird word. I had to look it up.
Oh, go on.
Turns out it's coined by American humorist Gellert Burgess in 1906 and 1907 on a dust jacket for a trade association dinner. The dust jacket said, "Yes, this is a blurb," and then featured a picture of somebody called Mrs. Belinda Blurb calling out, which was described as "in the act of blurbing." This is just weird.
What? You can't.
Was that written by AI?
Yeah, it feels like, when Shakespeare invented the word egg, and like we're okay with that. This seems insane because you can't have someone called it and them doing it.
Yeah.
No.
Like, you can't
this is
have...
alternative comedy at its finest in 1906.
You can't be called Derek Dickinson and then be, "Oh, I'm going to do a Dickinson now." Like, that doesn't work.
No, you can, because that sounds like a dance. That sounds fine.
It probably was in the 19... Yeah.
Like the Charleston.
Ladies drawing on their knees, things like that. Yeah.
This is for the summer issue. So am I to assume that they only have 4 issues a year?
They might
That'd be
have
sort of
winter,
Hallmark, though, wouldn't it?
Spring, the summer.
Fall.
Pumpkin recipes that you
Christmas.
must know.
Yeah.
And
gingerbread
royalty.
recipes that you must know. Spring would be
Easter egg recipes.
Easter eggs, painting eggs, and then summer. It's
shagging an outdoorsman, which I honestly think the term outdoorsman is surely some sort of sexual term, isn't it? Oh, he was an outdoorsman,
like George Michael.
Technically, that was in a door.
No, did he not get digging on Clapham Common?
It's a public toilets. Oh, right. I
Anyway.
think public toilets in Clapham Common.
I'm thinking of Norman Lamont and Julia.
No,
Clary.
you're thinking of Wombles.
Oh, I always am.
Constant.
So she's like, "Oh, well, I'll go and do it anyway, because otherwise this film isn't going anywhere." And I'm like, "This is banging. We're 3 minutes in, and we know exactly where we're at." Right? She's got a shit job, but well, for her, I would be more than happy with that as a job. Write about this soup: mushrooms in an English garden with Harold Pinter. Next. Yeah, and that's all you need to do, isn't it? Just something in a thing with thingy. Right, off. Sorted. Right. Told you be done by 10. So she texts off to this but this was the weird thing as well, like she doesn't have an office friend, which they normally do.
But that's coming.
Oh yeah,
that's coming. She'll find her own office friend. She has to drive through forests, a lake, people doing like croquet, I want to say, on a lawn somewhere, which doesn't feel very naturey to me.
It doesn't feel very American to me either.
Croquet. I think there's that Heathers thing, isn't it? They all play croquet or something in that. Anyway,
it's very true. I haven't thought about Heathers in about 20 years. That's probably a future episode.
Well, we're just that much on the dial. Our references are shit hot today.
Yeah.
The first thing she comes up against is like a welcome centre, which looks like when you go to like National Trust property or something, there's like a thing for the kids. It looks like one of them, but it contains pastry and a coffee bar, and she heads straight for the croissant.
Oh yeah, steaming him. Well, she checks in, doesn't she, first? And then the woman's like, "Oh, Kiss Chase will be here soon to show you. Our guide will be here to show you to base camp." And I'm like, "You're not scaling Everest, love."
Base camp, yeah. Chase is your camp butler. I don't think you're supposed to call him that.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Clearly not.
Her family. So this is Olivia. Her family own the resort, and I've put this is essentially the plot of Jurassic Park.
I swear to God, I was hoping there was going to be a big banner that says "When dinosaurs ruled the earth."
I believe that was also the welcome centre. Yeah.
And the woman's like, "Chase will be here in a bit. He's just doing donuts in his golf car outside."
He's just overworked.
He's doing everything.
That poor man. Yeah.
And he's so desperate to get it on with Olivia, and that's never resolved.
No, I was certain that they just throw it in there, and they just didn't. Yeah.
Like, well, when we get to the ending bit, I'm sure like they just pop up and be like, "Oh, we've been rumbled," like going at it. So she goes
Hell for lavender.
So she goes and helps herself to a pastry. Olivia comes over to a random guest that is Katie, like, and tells her entire life story.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've ever been to a premiere in, but that does not happen.
You don't want to know the whole life story of someone that works in a premiere in, though, do you?
I wouldn't know why they've lost their eye and their leg, but like that's. And then she's like, "Oh, try the croissants or whatever it was." She says,
I think it was a cruller or something, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Which she does. She like loads of plate, which is, to be fair, that's what I'd be doing.
That's the British thing. I thought she was going to scoop them all into her handbag, because that's what I'd have done. Like, Harvey, get your big handbag with free biscuits and shit.
You'd have been trying to put them through the toaster. You'd have been
doing, yes, please.
I love a toaster, yeah.
And then somebody comes out and they're like, "Who's done that to the toaster?" And everyone's like, "Oh, it wasn't me."
Yeah. At times someone tried putting a croissant in one of those rotating thing, and it got stuck at the back and it caught fire. It wasn't me. I'd already done my toast. But you've got to put it through twice anyway, because it's never hot enough, is it?
Absolutely.
No.
Toast.
There's an ongoing thing on Damn It Vince, whenever I stay in hotels, that we've now got a scoring system for the breakfast bar toast setup.
And if you're not listening to that, why not? Probably because you don't like wrestling.
There's not a lot of wrestling on it now.
There's very little wrestling in this wrestling podcast.
Yeah, if you want to listen to a proper one, you can do. And then Chase comes along and he's like, "Get in this golf cart. We're going for a razzabout." And tells her all the things that you can do here. And I was like, this is Centre Parks.
Yeah.
Pretty much spa, yoga facility, an organic garden, question mark?
He's very proud of his organic garden.
Because all the food cooked here is grown here. There's an abattoir. Do you like bear
where they kill eagles?
Well, she just has some feta on salad later on. I was thinking, there's a ropes course. And then he has a little pun. He says, "I highly recommend it."
Oh,
and he's hand out immediately for a tip like that. Get out of here, you camp butler.
Kayaking all sorts of nonsense.
I have written down here, I hate you, camp butler. So well done.
Again, cutting edge jokes.
And horse riding, or as they keep calling it in this, horseback riding.
Yeah.
Is that when you sit backwards?
No,
that's when you no, stop it. But yeah, they stop in this field, and she's going, there's a horse coming towards us, and it's miles away, and it's like Sir Lancelot in the Holy Grail. It's like,
she's afraid he'll ride into the caddy. It's like, what are you talking about?
He's not going to deliberately.
He doesn't want to do that.
I assume she's long-sighted. She thinks it's upon her.
Imagine her waiting at the bus stop. The bus is coming for me.
She can never watch that train coming into the station video.
He's a wilderness guy.
Every single week on both podcasts.
And a wilderness guy and an environmental biologist, apparently.
Yep.
Chase is quite taken with it. Says that that's the reason that he started working here. Which made me think, is he not gay? I don't know. Yeah.
No, he's just slightly camp.
He's Camp Butler.
Okay.
It's in the title. It's in the job title.
Anyway, but base camp, which they eventually get to, consists of 2 tents and some chairs. It's got Wi-Fi, electricity, a bath, a wood-burning stove, and telescope for some reason. And I was like, this is like
that'll come into it later.
Luxury telescope.
Oh,
Don't know what that means. Gold-plated. I don't know. It's got MP3 player on it. I don't know what constitutes a luxury telescope. Just before, as well, as they were in the car and they walked past, Will gave a look, and Katie literally goes, ugh. Like,
he does, like Richie.
It's like, get out quick before you short the battery, love. Jesus.
Yeah, she gets shown to this tent, which I've put as like Tom Haverford's tent in Parks and Rec, because it's just overloaded with electrical
It's essentially
goods.
a hotel room in a field. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like they're there for the Quidditch World Cup or something, doesn't it?
Again, these references.
But she can't believe it. She's like, this is amazing.
Because it's camping for people that hate nature.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're not. Yeah. Why not just get a hotel? I don't know.
But
Rich people,
there's a line of, a tent. Does it come with a padlock or something? And I was going, what? Like, you're in the middle of nowhere with people exactly the same that have paid an absolute fortune to be here. Why are you scared that all these other upper middle class people are going to rob you?
Well,
look at a laptop and all the work.
It was a fancy laptop. It had a pretty picture on the back. Yeah.
Not encrypted anyway, so
no.
I'll just use their Wi-Fi.
I did get to thinking though about the last festival I went to, which was Leeds Festival. How many tents get robbed every year? In 2023, it was 21. Oh. I was astonished to find it was so few because, after all, it is Leeds.
Yeah,
I would have thought that's by mistake anyway.
Yeah, well, they set fire to more toilets, don't they, than they rob tents, obviously, as is the Leeds way on the last night.
The old tradition of burning the bogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very flammable. This whole thing, though, right? And she's like, she's enamored by this. I'm like, you've still got to walk over there to have a wee or a poo. Like, there's no toilet in there, is there? You've still got to go to the shower block. Like, it's not that glamorous.
Hang on, she's shitting in the shower.
There's toilets are normal.
How do you do it?
Oh, right. I was thinking,
you do that, and then you just stamp it down with your foot.
Superstore. That's the second reference.
Or use a power shower, but then it becomes a poo shower. Oh, stop it.
Anyway, she's got she gets Chase to order her some boots. Like, how is this his job? Because you've brought along heels.
Yeah, Chase is
to the mountains.
What does he call them? Have you got any trail runners?
Trail runners, yeah.
And I'm like, what?
I assume it's like fell running shoes, but then they turn up and they're just boots.
I thought, I thought it was going to be people like who were going to carry her around on a sedan chair for some reason. Like, I didn't understand.
And like C-3PO in us.
Yeah, I was just like, and yeah, he just goes, "There's some boots," and she's like, "Sweet." Like, how much are they paying for this? Because like, I've stayed in places where you get free crappy slippers. You know, them really cheap.
Yeah. Ones. Yeah.
Is it like going to a bowling alley and they give you the shoes and you have
Most
to
bowling alleys you
them?
can wear your own shoes now. They don't give you.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, back in the day, it's not fresh. They're not fresh trail runners.
You just spray them with some pine scented mist, don't you? Yeah,
that's it.
But yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you get to keep them as a memory of your week in the plastic forest. Yeah.
Going to the spa or organic garden or whatever.
Well, he's like, just go and lay by the lake. And I'm like, it doesn't look that warm, to be fair. Later on, when they're having like the picnic lunch thing, it looks pretty like chilly, like Lake District-y sort of. It's like, it doesn't look, I don't know, Americans. But yeah, is this where she meets her best friend Penny?
Yeah. That's right. 134 Instagram followers. Is that a lot of followers? Because I don't think that is.
I think that's the joke.
I don't know. Ask Chat Tsunami. I don't know.
Don't be starting beef on this, right? If you want to do that, do it on your own. No, I think that's the joke, because she's like, I'm a writer. And she immediately forgets that she's supposed to be like undercover and not telling them this.
Yes.
And immediately the first person that isn't Chase or the owner of the building, which is well done on her part, I guess. She goes, I'm a writer. And she goes, I'm a photographer. Oh, are you any good? Oh, I've got 100. I think that's the thing. It's self-deprecating humor.
Right. Okay. No, fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing tomorrow? Oh, we're going on a bird walk with the hunky Will. As are all the other women and one man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase recommends a light walk, however. And honestly, this has got to be like the most basic. This is like walk alongside some trees down a very common path.
She even points out to us and herself, "Oh, I'm really good at walking. I'm a good walker."
See, but that is on my CV.
just being a good walker.
Great at walking, sitting, also good. Metabolizing food into energy, brilliant.
There's a squirrel, and oh look, there's a CGI brown bear.
Oh,
it's not CG.
Squirrel.
Is it not?
No, it's a chipmunk. Hello, Mr. Chipmunk. You're a northern reticulated chipmunk, aren't you? Oh, you're so northernly reticulated.
I didn't think it was CG. I just thought all this stuff was stolen from nature documentaries.
Yeah, probably. I thought it looked a little bit like if you Google animals and stuff like that, then it'll actually do like a little AI animal, like
I thought it
VR,
was
VR animal, not an AI animal.
I thought it was rescued from a Russian circus or something.
No, gentle Ben, no.
I have written here, no, Ben, no. Fucking hell, Joe.
Get out of my head.
I have a week off, and I come back, we've got all the same gags.
Yeah. So she immediately shits her pants and scarpers up this trail, which apparently you're not supposed to do when a bear attacks. You're supposed
what
to
are you meant to do? Make yourself big?
And shit your pants, I think. So she's got half of it right.
Okay.
Because no one wants to eat shitty pants. Well, I don't know. German. But yeah, she runs that. She runs into Will, and he's like, Chase told me to come and check for you down here, because he wasn't sure you'd do all right. She can't manage a path.
He sent her to her death.
How? Well, it was the Rainbow Trail as well, which is probably where Chase hangs out a lot, I'm guessing.
It's the one that I always drive off the side of when I play Mario Kart.
Yes. And she's like, "There's a bear."
He calls it Chester, I think.
Yeah.
After the man from Lincoln Park, innit? I wrote it down as Jester. And I thought that was a better name.
The ancient city in North Wales, the border of North Wales. Yeah, great.
And he's like, that's just a bear. He lives here. He's practically staff. And I'm like, it's a fucking wild bear, mate.
Yeah, but the next scene you see him going across the background in the little buggy, delivering somebody to the tent.
He's got a fez on going around in a little car. He's going the ballet. We just stop the Hallmark and just do 45 minutes of Simpsons jokes.
Hallmark of Greatness became a Simpsons podcast so gradually. I didn't even notice.
And he's like, let's go and do something else, isn't it?
I don't know. He says, like, they have a bit of a conversation. He's gone across Alaska or something. Which that sounds impressive. Yeah, that's fine. What are you doing next? Appalachian Trail. Oh, that's a trail then. Right.
It's a hard trail. I know that.
No, don't get me wrong. It's hard, but it's not exploring the wilderness because that's an established trail.
Well, maybe he did it like that Race Across the World when they went across Canada. I don't know. But she knows who he is.
Sitting in a petrol station for 5 hours and they're just paying for a hotel.
Not getting stabbed by jakey-looking dudes, yeah.
Had he not paid Sacagawea to lead him on the route when he was there?
No, because she's very dead. She knows who he is. He's Will Outdoorsman.
Yeah.
A steward of the land.
I think she refers to him as a journeyman, which isn't the meaning of that word.
That one? Yeah. No, none of them knew what that was. She's not been using that in blurbs.
Means he played for more than 12 football clubs in his entire career, I think.
I thought he was above an apprentice, but not a master. That's a journeyman, isn't it? It's in World of Warcraft. I don't know about anything else.
You know he's a journeyman because he's got rugged good looks and wears double denim.
Like Les Bass.
Olivia turns up on a bike and says that he needs to go and make a bespoke trail for a VIP guest. A bespoke trail? Carver? Is he macheting a path for somebody in the wilderness?
He's just patting down the grass as he goes along.
Chase is dressed as Predator, chasing him. Come with me if you want to. Yeah. I didn't understand that because he's like, I need to preserve all this. And she's like, nah, napalm a path down to the lake. And she's like, I'll see you tomorrow then, I guess.
Bye. Nighttime. She gets served something. Did anybody catch what this fucking salad was? So I've written down wheatberry. Yeah, she gets served that for breakfast as well. I was like, I would not.
Yeah, she did have the same bowl and the same thing next to it with the avocado on. In the morning, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
probably not at the same time.
Wheatberry salad is what I've written down. I don't know if that's a thing, but it doesn't sound appetizing.
It's a load of rocket and Weetabix mixed together.
She gushes about everything. She talks to an owl that's appeared.
That isn't there. Another more footage.
It would have been better if it was Bobo from Clash of the Titans.
I was thinking, it's the way it looks at her. Is it that one in that film where the owls are looking out for aliens?
Christ.
That's a Mila Jovovich film. Can't remember what that's called. Don't think it matters. The Fourth Kind. The Fourth Kind.
There you go. Yeah.
That's it. It's for nobody.
But she's sat with Penny, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to go to do the bird watching thing, and I'm going to take pictures or whatever." Isn't this where she walks up to the mountain, and Will is at the top of the mountain, and he tells her to fuck off, basically?
I don't remember this.
Wow. Possibly.
What?
I think she gets.
I did zone out a lot.
I think before they eat the meal, she gets up and goes for a walk in the morning, despite the fact you're camping, so it's fucking
yeah, she
freezing.
does. Yeah, yeah, she goes up to the lakeside to see him.
Sunrise Hill or something.
Yeah, and she has a conversation with him, and he's like, "Journalist bad."
Yeah, I come up here every morning.
I'm waiting for the dawn. I wait here every day after dawn to wait for the dawn. This is what they do.
Hello, dawn. Hello, boys. Yeah. Yeah, but no, she's like talking to him, and he's going, "Shut up! I'm waiting for dawn."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Right, what?" And she's like, "Oh, I know who you are because I read the magazine in a dentist's waiting room." And he's like, "Yeah, journalists stitched me right up there. I was trying to talk about nature, and they wanted to know like how big my shoes were, and you know." And she's like, "Oh yeah, journalist shit house." Yeah, yes.
She says here, "Oh, I'm really." He says, "Why have you come in?" She's like, "I'm here to widen my horizons." I mean, that'll lose you a listing on dove.org. That's for sure.
It wasn't on dove.org. No one is more. Well, nothing really happens in it. I suppose they kiss out of wedlock at the end in a lavender field.
Woman rides horse.
That's how you break a hymen, I'll have you know.
Unprotected zipline abuse. Yeah, I don't know.
An owl.
Bear used as staff.
What would Jesus do? Not use a zipline. So it's she has a breakfast. She's talking to Penny. They're like, "Oh, if you look at your photographs," because she took some photos this morning as well. She got up early, like, which is all you can do when you go camping because the fuck all else, like, and it's freezing cold in the morning as well, though.
Yeah, it will be. They go to Birdsong 101. There's a lot of like 101 classes in this. It was a little bit like Community, where there's like ladders 101 sort of thing. But we did get some choice quotes out of this because he takes these people on a hike. A hike of about 50 yards anyway to some trees. And then he says the Birdsong is nature's radio station.
Oh.
Let's see if we can name some of its top 10 hits.
I mean, it can't be any worse than 4 hours of greatest hits radio at work. I'll assure you that.
But yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, listen to that one. Can you tell where it's coming from?" Yeah, that's how ears work. Like, that's why I'm on either side of my head so I can locate using sound. I'm not a hippopotamus.
I don't know if it's him that says it to her or if it's her new pal says it. He says, "Oh, you know, do you sometimes take a risk or something like that?" She says, "Yeah. The other week I had the spicy tuna roll instead of just the regular tuna roll."
Oh,
why would you ever not have the spicy tuna roll?
Because
why would you have
plain,
the regular?
Isn't she? She's basic. She writes
so
blurbs
mad.
for a living. Spicy tuna.
Blurbs.
Not on your Nelly. There wasn't a big seller. Also, I think when they do the dawn talk, or is it here where he goes, "There is nothing more beautiful than a heart changing," and I was like,
yeah, he does say that. Yeah,
unless it's answer.
Keep it light.
I know.
The jacket she was wearing here, this "Hey Georgie" jacket, we all float down here.
It's a sou'westery sort of wax jacket thing, isn't it? Yeah.
It really was. Yeah, it's bad. Can you tell what bird that is? And she's like, "Yeah, it's a yellow one." And he's like, "Look in the book."
Sparrow that looks yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Look in the trunk." I think he means trunk. And then she looks in the book, and it's a golden crowned sparrow. And he's like, "Well done, you can read." Like gold star on your face. If you want to see the golden crowned sparrow, lads, during summer, you've got to visit the wilds of Alaska and far western Canada.
It's almost as though it was filmed in Canada.
It is indeed. Yeah,
almost like that was a stock photograph of a bird.
Penny snatches a photo of the two of her consulting Will.
Yeah, a bit close.
Which will be a major plot.
And also, Will onto a good scam at this point as well, because he's like, "Make as many notes about this as you want in your copybooks, and I'll collect them in at the end." Because he's just getting them to do his research for him, which is smart.
23 minutes in here, lads. 23 minutes in. Just...
Somebody gives me that. I'm not writing anything useful in that.
I'm going to draw cocks on every page. Big spunky cocks.
Well, because
Where's the
usually when I go
lager?
for a walk around here, that's usually what I'm seeing in the woods.
I mean, we've seen tits. We might as well see cocks. Oh, there was a sparrow.
We get this good. We do get a good montage of people going and pointing into trees while other bits of birds. And I'm like, I'm sure that's a parrot. Like, that's not going to live in Canada. But they all arrive back. They get a bit too.
They go up
too
to the
close.
eagle's nest.
Oh,
You've
the
seen this place.
eagles.
For a lunch
Yeah.
of, I'm assuming wheat salad and feta again.
That's
Now-
why all those birds were circling around, because they just left the lunch out on a table.
Plus,
And-
Will lost 2 people on the first hike and then back to death.
I love how they've basically hammered this whole trip because every scene has a table of booze in the background.
It's the only way you're
Doesn't
going to
it?
get me to go
Everywhere
bird
they
watching,
are.
mate.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's be
yeah, so-
obvious there.
What's funny about a body? They had to look at these eagles, and then you see this eagle fly over them, except you don't. It's blatantly a cartoon that goes across them, and then
Birdemic has better effects.
the crowing too. We then head to a tree, a stock footage tree. He's like, "Oh, aren't they beautiful?" And then back to our set.
Yeah, and they mate
Well,
for
it's like,
life, and they
oh,
meet
we
in the
might-
same tree.
We might see eagles. If we're really lucky, we might see them. Oh, look, there they are over there. About
Yeah,
10
and there's
yards away.
that's where they live, and that's where their babies are, and the babies are called eaglets. Eaglets, that's a pretty stupid name. It's just what they're fucking called, mate.
Mate,
I
it's
hope,
worse
yeah.
shit, isn't it? Like, and they're not. At least they're there all the time. Those eagles are on like cables, so that they've got like a maximum radius they can go around. And then when Will pulls up, he presses a button, pulls them back in like a retractable dog lead. Guarantee it.
There's a bloke in the corner with a big glove on. A little bit.
What
of
does it
knee.
eat, Casper? Chicken tikka, sir. Yeah.
They go on about monogamy or something. The eagles are monogamous.
Because eagles mate for life, and they mate in the same tree. So every year, the man brings it more wood.
Yeah.
You wouldn't fuck with an eagle, though, would you? Surely that's at the top of the food chain.
I reckon I could take an eagle.
I don't think you could, Joe. Be honest.
Yeah, they're all really old now, aren't they? Got a residency in Manchester, I think, actually. Yeah. I'm going to wait
I was
outside.
going to do an eagles gag.
I'm going to wait outside the GMX and do them in.
And what, are you
For
going to
legal
take it to the
reasons-
limit?
For legal reasons, I am not going to go and beat up any of the eagles.
Any of the remaining still alive eagles?
Was it the
I thought-
eagles?
I thought at least there was a joke in there about a hotel that you would want to leave.
Oh.
But yeah.
I fucking hate the eagles, man.
But then she starts telling him about her mum. And my mum's very much paper the first year. And I was like, what? Who's this for? Why are you telling Will this?
I glossed over all of this.
Yeah,
No, it's
you know what?
fine.
The vast majority of the dialogue is not noted down here for me.
Oh, because it's terrible. Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's just bland.
She.
You're not really supposed to concentrate on that. You're supposed to concentrate on the pretty people in the landscape.
But
it's
she
what it's there
supposed to
for.
be like? I think she's supposed to be like ditzy and cute, but she just comes across as thick and annoying.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's the quintessential Mary Sue thing. Is if they don't have a
Yeah.
personality, make them clumsy.
Yeah, all right.
Which she is. So yeah.
Didn't bring her
Back
own
at the
shoes.
visitor centre, Olivia's spoken to a major investor. There's talk about an expansion proposal, conservation notices. Oh, the plot thickens. Finally, there's jeopardy in this
And she
film.
proclaims, "Well, this could be it. I am going down the shops for 20 fags." She is the most robotic cardboard actor.
There's the joke.
There's the robot. There's the robot. She is terrible.
Like C3PO, but with pubes and hair.
She's
Yeah,
Look, we
I
watch
mean-
these things all the time, and we know it's generally not great actors. But it was jarring how bad this actor is.
I will say that like the actors that played Katie and Will and like Penny and Chase were, because there's only like 5 people in this film, were competent in their jobs. But yeah, Olivia very much felt like she'd won it by sending in 8 crisp packets. Yeah. But yeah, they're going to get a major investor to expand the hotel so that it can run in the winter.
Yeah.
I guess they can have more people if they make it a hotel rather than.
But then that's not
2
glamping.
camps.
That's a hotel.
Oh yeah, I know. Just
it
call it
should be
glamping
called
though. The
Club
glamping
and
hotel.
hotels.
That's what I call
There
it.
you go.
There you go.
And this is when we find out as
Penny-
well that Will is only there for half the year, and then he goes away for the other half year and does these things. He's going to be, like you said, hiking the Appalachian Trail, and he doesn't know whether he should stay over the winter because he's got sponsors. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Fucking
Cheering him
Nutrigrain
down
bars? What? Like, trail runners,
bit
the
mysterious.
shoes, TM.
I imagine him just like hiking the Appalachian Trail with like Shell and all these petroleum.
Castrol GTX on the back of his jacket.
Penny sidles up and shows her a picture of her and Will, and she's like, "What are you doing this for? I didn't ask for this." And she's like, "Oh, don't resist him. I find opposites usually attract." Yeah, Penny, that's you. That's just your observation. No one's ever come up with that before.
That's why you've gone camping on your own, you mad bastard.
Give it a rest, Paula Abdul.
And
like Butler Abdul.
No, but opposites attract.
Oh, okay, that makes way more sense.
I wish if I'd have said, "Give it a rest, DJ Scat Cat," you'd have gone,
"Oh yeah,
opposites attract." Yeah, fucking hell.
Man. This is when they're sitting outside.
She submits all of this into work as well.
Yeah,
because Sabrina gets her on FaceTime. She's like, "I want to know more about this wilderness tart.
Bring me pictures of the wilderness, man."
It's nothing to do with anything. You showed me a picture. You showed me a stock footage of an eagle.
He's doing this and protected me from a CGI bear? Question mark.
Did you see when she emailed her? I've written it's really great emailing. Subject photos, and then just the photos.
3 photos of stock photography. I'm sure one of them was the green hill that you get on a Windows laptop.
One of them had Getty Images stamped across it.
But yeah, because this was the thing as well. Is she paying Penny for these photographs? Because later on, she's like, "Well, thanks for getting my work out there," and she doesn't say, "Yeah, your check will be with you." Like she's just like,
exposure books, Joe. Come on,
exposure books, I guess. Yeah. Is this where they go to the lake?
Fishing. Yeah, Fishing 101.
This is it, and it looks
how
classic.
To cast your rod.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a bit like where it got caught on someone's hair, or
there's a guy walks by with a fish in a net at the very, very beginning of the scene, and it's quite blatantly a plastic fish. He's holding the net. He's holding the net like that.
I would have thought it's not actually catching them. Are they going to eat these?
She kills hers and eats hers later.
Because that's not a very conservation-heavy thing to do. I suppose if there's enough fish in it, it doesn't matter.
It's a pike, so there's not a lot of meat on it.
It's very... Yeah. No, Will knows every fish in that lake, and he's like, "Come on, Mr. Stevens, your time's up."
I know every fish in that lake, and I want to murder them all.
Yeah.
Mr. Stevens! Mr. Cat Stevens!
Mr. Catfish Stevens!
Stevens.
Oh, here we go.
Right there.
We all got there.
Anyway, he tells her that he loved her report on the sparrow-headed.
Yeah, because she just did a blurb. She was like, "The golden chaffinch is the king of all the chaffinches, as he has a gold crown on." I was like, that's not great, is it? You know, it's not buy us some Terry's all gold. Like,
his feedback is when I read it, I could just see it there. Yeah, because she used the term gold-crowned sparrow or something.
Also, you were there.
He was there. That's a very good point. Yeah. So they go and have a barbecue now and eat the fish or something.
So they go and eat the fish. The barbecue's later on. That's the luxury telescope hour.
Okay.
But Chase has showed her how to prepare this fish. Penny can't believe it's caught a fish and eaten it. Like, where do you think fish comes from, Penny? Tins? Space?
Yeah, they gush over his capabilities. And Olivia comes over and she says, "Oh, isn't he wonderful?" And then she let it slip that he was responsible for a massive GDPR breach, where he nearly breached all the client data on the database or something. And then they all have a big laugh.
She's like, "Isn't he great? Oh yeah, he's so clever. Oh, put me in front of a computer and I'm not." And he's like, "Yeah, he did fund a lot of Russian terrorists." Yeah, and then he's like, he's always got these excuses to go off.
He's not good. He's not good at that, and ice skating is the other thing.
He's more of a skier. I'm like, you white people. Why are you not going bowling or bingo? The
other white people games.
Yeah, the poor white people games. No, but then he's like,
that's an Olympic side watch, Joe. Just so you know.
I thought that was going to be next week's film.
Bowling and bingo
games. The poor white people games.
Like, was it Freddie Truman's Pub Olympics, pub game, pub sport, pub league? Yeah,
indoor league. I'll
league.
Still it.
No, but then he's like, I have to go now, because I've got to go and he's like, I've got to go and shoe a horse. Or he's like, he's always got these excuses to just disappear. You ever shoot a horse? No, but I've told a donkey to fuck off.
The old ones are the best.
Hey, this is what you're here for. This is why and we never get Patreons. We don't have one. But yeah. He just leaves again, and then because for a long period of time I was confused because I thought Olivia and Will were brother and sister.
But we did think this. Me and Katie were saying either they were together and they've split up.
No, I thought she was fawning. Yeah, well, possibly that, but she was definitely fawning all over him, and he had no interest.
But I thought at this point she was, but then later on she like does a weird turn, and it becomes really sort of like platonic sort of thing. It's very weird. But yeah, at this point he's like, "Oh, isn't great," and then like Katie's like, "Well, I've got to go because
I think they say, can't he be here all the time? Why does he have to go away down a trail?" And she's like, "Well, we're building a hotel and he's going to do the environmental impact report for it." And it's like, is that his job?
Yeah, but don't let him near a computer to do it.
Yeah, how's he going to type that in without doing a massive data breach? I don't know.
What he'll do is he'll take a tour group and get them to write it for him and then pass it off as his own work.
You can scroll it into the bark of a tree with a knife.
Yeah.
With his recipe for moonshine.
Sabrina wants her to get personal with the mountain man. It's 2,000 words, and now you want me to sleep with one of them.
It's just like basically rub your fanny on him, see what happens. And I'm like, I don't get paid for this. I was writing about bleach last week, and now I'm here.
Sabrina's line is hunky mountain man, and I thought, hang on, is this wrong turn?
Oh, Jesus! If Henry Rollins pops up from behind a tree with a crossbow, then we fucked up massively. Yeah.
Chase, meanwhile, recommends yoga. She's nervous because she's never done yoga before and she doesn't understand basic directions.
Yeah,
which is a massive problem.
Yeah, because I was stretch yoga.
I think it's supposed to be good for you.
Yeah, but isn't all yoga stretch yoga?
Did they say stretch?
Yeah,
yoga?
I guess so.
Stretch yoga. Yeah, it's stretch yoga, and I thought, that's all yoga, right?
Is he Stretch Armstrong's brother? Is that Dal Sim from Street Fighter 2?
Yoga fire.
But I was like, she doesn't understand that if someone's doing this with their hands, you copy them that way. Does she get scared in front of mirrors? Does she think like a budgie? Does she try and attack herself?
Well, she does get scared in front of mirrors because she thinks the person is coming towards her. I suppose.
I mean, to be fair, that happened. I went that hotel I stayed in Newcastle because it had two mirrors next to each other.
Oh, that does fuck me up, yeah.
Yeah, Emma and James have got it at the top of their stairs, and I hate going for a wee because, like, you come round the corner as you go upstairs. It's very off-putting. Anyway, that's nobody. But all these women,
my favourite part of all of that is that Will goes past for the tour group and just goes, "Fucking idiot."
She waves at him, and he just goes, "Yeah, right." I bet it stinks in that pagoda as well.
Oh yeah,
because apparently yoga does make you do trumps.
Oh right, okay.
Because it stretches you all out and all your stuff realigns, all your thing. Apparent. So hard.
I've seen enough sitcoms to know that he's telling the truth.
And yeah, that's. And then she,
then she
goes and speaks to Will again.
She goes off to have limoncello in the mountains. Is what it looks like. It's very potently yellow liquid. Anyway, maybe it's their own whiz. Who knows? Anyway, Kate is conflicted about writing this article now because she's like, "Well, I don't want to get close to him and then betray him, but that's what I'm going to do anyway." Will sort of overhears this and comes over, and he says, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I've not actually taken that job. I don't like change." All right, okay. Sunrise Peaks is wild and undeveloped, and I'm like, is it though? Is it wild and undeveloped? Because it doesn't look like it.
Pretty developed to me.
There's a lot of
sprawling complex.
Yeah, there's a leisure centre. There's a sauna because Penny never gets out the sauna. So
there's all those electric fences to keep the gallimimuses in.
Yeah,
clever. There's all that the massive carbon footprint of each of the tents as well.
Yes, yeah.
You got Chase bazzing it around at night as well.
Yeah, what they charging those electric scooters on? Yeah.
Got solar panels, has he? Chase driving around, farting into people's tents when no one's looking. Menace. Also, every time Katie's like, "What should I do on my next day?" And Will's like, "Let's go horseback riding." He fucking loves horses, this lad.
He does.
Like, he's obsessed. Which I don't know.
Like, I don't want to do that next. And it turns out they've read the same book about the Appalachian Trail, like some children's book, which they never specify what it is. Do you remember the title?
Yeah, which I looked it up. I put in the exact
synopsis,
what they said about it, and it's not a book.
No,
blurb.
It's not. With a dog called Daisy.
Yeah. Daisy. There is a book about a dog walking. Where are you Colin?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Okay, well, now we've done. Is this zip line or is this canoe? Was the next activity?
This is going out on the lake.
Oh, this is City Slickers 3: The Search for Curly's Canoe. Yeah,
It felt very much like this was an advertising video for one of those PGL trips to make you go on in school. Like, show her climbing a wall, show her having fun in the mess hall. Yeah, they get in this boat and he's showing her how to row a boat, like with a not rower like a not like Traitors Australia, but like just a canoe. So it's just paddle, isn't it? She doesn't understand it, and I'm like,
no, she doesn't. She doesn't understand directions. Like, oh yeah, do this. She goes on about a job as well. Also, fuck the other tourists. He's just doing one-on-one with her now.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's trying to get one-on-one with her, widen her horizons, right up.
Is that a canoe in your pocket? She does a blurb for the lake as well because he tells her to.
This as well.
I've written it down.
So, they're not rowing out into the lake. This is like Gary Sinise in a blonde wig, right? And then she's like, he's like, oh, so you're a writer, you write blurbs. Write about this. And go on, what's she say?
Mountains made up of all the shades of the seasons surround a lake so pristine that it acts as a mirror, reflecting the mountain's beautiful face.
Beautiful mountain face. All the colours of the season. Green, mostly green. Yes.
The blue.
Unless
it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Not,
but it's like
it's not 20 words either.
Exceptional about anything.
But the whole thing is, she's meant to come up with these things like off the top of her head. Is meant to be her superpower, and that's shit. If that's what she does for a living, like I could have done that, and people would have gone, "Oh, that's pretty good, Mark. Well done."
Yeah,
but she's meant to do it for a living. I know they don't know that, but if she comes up with it for a living, you're just going to kick her out the kayak, aren't you? Just going to go about that.
I'd have brought a tree bough with me and just bonked her on the head, made her hold it, and threw her in. Like she wouldn't understand why she was drowning.
He just says, "You're someone special," and they row back.
Yeah, that's what my mum says to me.
She
card right good. But then she goes, "You do it." And I'm like, "No, I'm mountain man. My skill is being rugged and looking mysteriously off into the distance, not writing the inside of birthday cards."
Yeah,
but he does.
Didn't record what it was if he did.
Oh, probably just water wet, mountain good, Will hungry.
Back at the camp, there's going to be a meteor shower. She's surprised that he dances. He says that he dances at weddings or whatever.
Well, no, what do you think I do when I get to the top of a mountain? I dance. And she goes, "Does you?" And he goes, "No, of course I fucking don't, you idiot." And she's like, "Oh, I should stop falling for you. I mean, it."
Well, I think he says it. He does it at the end, like when you get to the top of the mountain. And Katie said, "Well, you've got to get back down again."
Well, you can't live up there.
No, he would. If anyone
would.
It
was the meteor shower that happens every year on the same day. Is that how meteors work? Is someone get on the Ouija board to Patrick Moore? Find out.
Why don't you just ask that Mancunian one?
Because he's into big toffees. No, I hate him.
I do as well.
Yeah. No, instead we get a talk about how to do the perfect steak, and we watch the meteor shower.
Salt and pepper. Now, am I right in saying is this Chase in a hat?
Yeah.
Right.
Chase is the camp butler, the pastry chef, the
steak chef,
the alerter of bears on trails to mountain men. Like you never see any other staff.
No.
His line is, and that ends our special ingredients because salt and pepper is all a good steak needs. No, it isn't.
If
no,
it
isn't.
A good rub, yeah.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, yes, it is all it needs. The rest of it's
it's not much of a show, is it?
No, and he's right. He's like, you don't cut into it until you've let it rest. Because he's right. His stuff he's saying is right, but also it's not much of a show, is it? You know?
It's not. And it's probably, I mean, he's probably had that over there for like 3-4 minutes. It's a quick show. It's barely a show. Unless the first part of that was him killing a cow.
Well, it's all done on site. I said they've got an abattoir. We've already established that. Gather round, women, because there's and one man that's here, while I put a bolt gun up to this head. Like,
and
then join us on the killing floor.
Yeah. He's been to Bovine University. But yeah, I mean, like it makes a change from Weetabix salad and feta, to be fair, or dirty lake fish.
Is that your name down the docks?
By many.
They do a little dance as well to some placeholder music, and Olivia
this is a proper song.
Pissed.
Yeah, this is the song that they use this 3 times in the film.
Yeah, they do, and it's generic as fuck. But they're dancing, And she's like, oh, he does dance. And then Chase, like, sees his moment, reeking of, like, lighter fluid, I'm guessing, or propane and propane accessories. And he's
salt
like,
and pepper.
And he's
off his tits on
well,
salt.
he is trying to push it with Olivia. Salt and pepper. Fuck you.
Very good.
If you've got to explain it. And he's like, oh, do you want to dance, Olivia? And she's like, no, Chase. And he's like, you can see the moment when his heart rips in half. Like,
yeah, she's not into the chase.
No, Mark Lebet. And then we smash cut nighttime, and yes, they're having hot chocolate. It wouldn't be a Hallmark film with a campfire if someone's not having hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And third wheel Penny is there as well.
She's like, oh, I've run out of wishes, but yours is coming along. And then Will comes over with some more hot chocolate, and they share a nice campfire moment. Because of course they had to. It's a Hallmark film.
Yeah.
And then we get about a nice story about a polar bear that died.
Oh, you fucking
chased by wolves, and then proves that the flat Earth theory is correct because it falls off the edge of the world.
And for that reason, I'm glad that polar bear's dead. And no more spreading misinformation for him.
Also,
I bet he's not even vaccinated.
I bet he isn't. No, she wants to be a Jane to his Tarzan. This has moved on a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, Jane to his Tarzan. The rose to his Fred.
He hints that he might stick around if she's about. She's going to have to go on holiday here a lot.
Again, right? This was the point I had with it, was that she's not going to be able to afford to come back. Her work and pay for this. And this looks like it's dollars, isn't it? Like, they give you free shoes. Like, nowhere else I've ever been does that in my life. Shoe zone if you cry. But, like, she's never able to afford to come back. So him taking the winter job, when no one's going to want to go out on the trails and that, even Rainbow Road, like, he's just going to be sat in a cabin whittling or whatever his mountain.
He looks like the whittling type for once.
Yeah. And chewing tobacco, spitting it into a big bucket.
Yeah.
Well, Olivia turns up at this point because she's like a bloodhound for any Mason relationship between and gets going about the hotel plan because she's got no chill about that. And Katie's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go and get some more cocoa." And then him and Olivia have this tense thing, which in a better film he would have murdered her, and then the rest of it is like, well, who got murdered and what for? It's like Chinatown or something. Anyway, Katie goes back to writing in bed.
You are the only person in the world who will go, you know what? Love and Glamping is a lot like Chinatown. For my GCSE media studies essay, I will.
She's writing in bed, writing montage. Sunrise spot again in the morning, well after dawn, as per usual.
I was going to say, it's dark in the morning before the sun comes up.
Will's like,
just a little hint for you there.
Is ropes 101 today? I'm going to teach you all about the ropes.
But she's there before him this time because this is supposed to be her going, oh man, I love nature now, mate. 2 days in, and I'm bang about nature. So much so that I'll get up after the sun has risen to go and watch the sunrise. 27 hours I'm going to have to wait, but I'm waiting.
How is he supposed to see it? Yeah, she goes to do this thing. Now, they've got ropes up high and they've got boards between it. And it's the kind where there's like one on one side, one on the other. So you're supposed to tread with your right foot and then left on the right side. She gets the wrong fucking side again. Yeah. Why doesn't she know directions?
See, because she lied as well on her CV saying she was good at walking. She fucking isn't because she doesn't know how to lead with a good foot. Like,
it's the weirdest thing because... I don't know. Yeah. It didn't feel like it was deliberate. It felt like it just fucked up.
It was a choice.
Yeah. He invites her to an afternoon activity, but doesn't tell her what it is. And then he's like, "Oh, I'll see you there."
Bombing.
Where? Yeah, well, that's what I would have assumed. It's like, where am I going then? I don't know where this is.
No, do we not? Is this not where we get the zip line as well?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so they do the treetop walking thing, and he's meant to be, I don't know, as sure-footed as a mountain goat, but he's just as slow, I think. He's not much quicker than her at all.
Again, because it's not him.
Yeah.
It's like in Happy Gilmore when he pays that tramp to be his cat. They've just got some guy. Go on, put a wig on. You can go across that. Can I have a pulley to secure me? No pulley for you. He can't pronounce the word pulley. And she doesn't know what a pulley is either.
No.
Like, She never had to lift heavy things in ancient Egypt.
Never had to write a blurb about Polly, I suppose.
No.
Never had to take stuff off the back of a canal barge into a building.
That's why she doesn't understand the left, right? Because that's how the stairs are in canal barges as well, isn't it?
There you go.
It all
Yeah,
fits
that's
together.
Of course it does.
Yeah, they do a zip
Anyway.
line as well, and like they laugh about it, and I'm like, it's not that exciting. Like, it's only across
It's
the
the
Yeah,
most
but
exciting
it's
she's ever had. Remember, she's the one that gets tuna without the chili.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rude.
There's like she waits for the afternoon activity, which happens at night. So yeah, that's a bit weird. But there's fireflies everywhere. Surely they were there on other nights, but they've just chosen to descend on this one night.
Well,
And he's come to take her somewhere.
because that is they're trained fireflies. Like the eagles are on pulleys, like pulleys. All the fireflies just get like they just release a swarm of them. Like you can buy a big bucket of ladybirds to kill aphids in your garden.
Yeah.
Will's just got like barrels of fireflies.
Bring him up, Sal. It's just
He's got is it like a flamethrower? He just sprays them out.
And we should have known because
was
who
it?
had this?
It's like
God.
1,000 tiny lanterns when all you need is a knife.
Who had this on their bingo card? Toasted marshmallows. Of course, it had to be toasted marshmallows at some point.
S'mores. Now, s'mores are just shit Tunnocks tea cakes. I won't have anybody say anything otherwise.
It's graham crackers, which are not proper digestives because they're very, very sweet. Chocolate and marshmallow next to a fire till it melts. Shitty Tunnocks tea cakes. She feeds it him, and he goes, "That's delicious." How could it not
made
be?
it myself.
Yeah, I did. Only dropped it twice.
It was grown in the garden. They have another moment.
Oh no! Then he feeds her some of it, and then who should show up? Fucking Penny! I swear to God, literally. Maybe that's why she's the proverbial bad penny that keeps showing up.
Pop on.
Yeah, well, she's desperate because she turns up, ruins the moment, and then confides in Katie. Katie has a crisis of confidence because she's getting more interlinked with this bloke than she thought, and then she says, "Well, you're gonna have to have a let me explain moment then." And then Sabrina calls her fascinated by this man and says, "Get a photo of her naked on a horse right now." Pushing her.
Get a picture of him chopping wood with his dong. I'm like, what? No, what's happening? Sabrina, are you all right? Is everything all right at home? Because you seem to be obsessed with this man you've never met. You're basing your whole
the feature of the piece.
The whole spring issue is based on this man. In a magazine
off the page.
In a magazine that's called what? Women's Hour Time.
Women's Bits. Yeah.
Modern
called Women's Bits.
Modern
Flaps.
MWM.
I should have bought Big Fat Cocks. I just don't understand. Like, I would assume it's going to be about like fashion and things like that. Not saying that that's what women's magazines are, but if they're only having a spring and summer and autumn issue, then I assume it would be like fashion and puff pieces.
I stayed at this glamping place. They gave me free boots. There you go.
Yeah.
I did that in under 20 words. Can I have a job?
Free boots, big tent, full. There you go.
It's horse paddock time the next day. We've all been waiting for it. Horseback riding, riding through purple haze. Actually, this is their.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Yeah, it was. Two riders were approaching. Two riders were approaching into the field of lavender. Yeah. She also goes. He also says, if you feed them a carrot, they'll be your bestie for life. And I always think like, when you feed a horse, you put your thumb in or your thumb out. Because I've been told you're supposed to put your thumb in, although if you leave it out, the horse will bite it off.
I mean, I won't put my thumb in the horse at all. Oh, sorry, in the mouth.
I put my whole hand in that, and then I release the carrot, and then remove. Like,
I mean, you can't tell me horses don't bite. Look at the size of those teeth. Like Janet Street Porter.
Is she dead?
Yeah, she's dead. Yeah, right. She's dead. It's all right. We can do it.
I won't do my impression.
It's probably quite visual anyway. Would have thought.
No, it's not. Could be Alan Carr. Yeah, because what was it? Oh, she begged her parents to let her do horse riding school, and then a horse kicked her in the head, and now she can't know left from right. I think that's what it is.
She comes out with a blurb for Lavender Grove. I've not written it down because it's so boring.
Lavenders are purple. Isn't that nice? Ooh, mountain face.
Nothing rhymes with purple.
He says that cowboys used to pick lavender for the women because it never used to never used to go stale or something.
It dries out, doesn't it, lavender?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still
See,
smelling.
this was a good bit, and this was like a nice payoff. It should have been done earlier in the film.
Yeah. For me, though, it was ruined by her Malibu Stacy. She's got a new hat. It was very much that exact same hat.
It was a horse riding hat. You can't ride a
it.
hat without a horse. Got a hat hard on. But yeah, and he's like, "This we don't take customers here normally. This is like a secret place that only me and Olivia know about," which makes me think they were going to Bone Town here.
Like, yeah, absolutely. It's lavender though. It
smells like
it's
grass.
very regular. No, it's not that. It's more. It's not wilderness, is it? It's just some bushes.
It's planted. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely planted. It's like in regular rows.
Yeah. It's like they're harvesting lavender.
Yeah.
To make
I don't know.
perfume.
But they want to build on this, even though it's
he goes,
site of
"What's that?"
special scientific interest.
Over there is one of those things from the Blair Witch Project. It's a pole with a piece of someone's tied a piece of pink ribbon around the old oak stave.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought when I saw it. Yeah.
And he's like,
disgusting.
This is a marker when someone. I was like, I'm fairly sure it's normally a work experienced lad stood in a field with a stick when I've seen him do ordnance surveys.
Rolling one of those sticks with the wheels on the bottom. Triple wheel, there you go.
Ideal job.
Theodolite, I want to say.
Yeah, that's I think they're all digital now. It used to be on like a pendulum thing, didn't it? But it's all lasers shit now.
Lasers and shit. So we're living in the
and
future.
Explosions.
Hot Theodolite chat on Hallmark and Greatness. And he's like, "No, this can't happen. Let's ride furiously back to the thing to confront Olivia about this."
And because she was about to say, "Oh, and by the way, I'm a journalist." But
again,
no,
not a journeyman.
So no, so the let me explain moment hasn't been explained.
No,
he confronts Olivia.
Again, like I will say, this last sort of 20 minutes of it is quite good because the fact that she nearly told him, and it was only because he saw the thing that. So she was going to man up to it, like person up, whatever. It all goes, that makes way more sense. And then it all fell. So he rides back, rides like the wind, Shadowfax, and Olivia's like, "I spoke to the business investors, and if I want to make partner in this hotel, we have to plow the field, salt the earth, build a hotel on it, kill at least 3 foreign laborers in the construction of said hotel, like otherwise, you know." And he's like, "That's not what we agreed, damn it." And she's like,
"We had a deal.
Are you going to stay for the winter?" And he's like, "I still don't even know." And I'm like, "What are you going to do?"
He storms off. So there's that. And then Katie and Penny then start talking about the article.
They're getting lashed on a cliff top, aren't they, or something?
I mean, I would. I think it is at the eagle's nest or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he overhears. Let me explain. We're there. We're finally there. I'm a journalist. My boss wants us to bone, and he's pissed, and he says, "You did all this without me knowing." And I thought that's quite easy, actually. You just don't tell him.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a weird.
You've never
response,
really asked questions about what each other do, but you know about the same childhood book you've written, and you know that her dad's a college professor, and her mum was I don't know what it was, so it was mostly lectures and church or whatever it was she said. Like, but you've never at any point gone, "So what do you do for a living now?" "I write blurbs." "Really? That's not a job." "Go to work on an egg" was done by Salman Rushdie. God rest him.
She goes back to a fabulous tent ad, sees a wolf. Don't know why. Yeah. It's just animals being shoehorned in left, right, and centre.
She wasn't even scared.
She wasn't even scared. I'd be scarer of the wolf than the bear.
Yeah.
Because I'd just throw all my coat behind me because bears love that.
No, she says to Penny, and I wasn't scared. Faking love is the scariest thing.
Yeah. Except one of those massive sandworms in Dune. Ooh, they're pretty scary, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's probably in this as well.
Yeah. So stock footage.
When we ride a horse to the other side to where the spice fields are. Yeah. We only take the what was it, Atreus family? I can't remember. But yeah. And like Penny's like, "Oh, I'm sorry I did that," and she's like, "Nah, it's fine." I'm like, "No, it isn't, Penny. I could have got away with this."
Anyway,
we're a few pesky pennies.
Everyone leaves at the same time.
Yeah, it's
everyone's
like
packing up and going.
It's like school camp thing for them.
That was summer.
She has said she does say to Penny, she's like, "I have said to Sabrina that I don't want to write this," and Sabrina's gone, "Tough. 2,000 words of hunky mountain man on horse. Maybe use less like describing words, because otherwise.
Yeah, and she says to Chase, "Oh, could you tell Will that I said hello or something?" And,
Again, another lie. Sorry, she says to Chase,
Yeah.
"Where's have you seen Will?" And he goes, "He's taking a party out to the lavender fields." So they take everyone down there anyway. So he was taking her down there for a trip to Pound Town.
of course he was.
Of course he was. Hides the smell.
Add lavender. That's what he said. Not my best work. And Katie chats to Olivia at the back of the visitor centre or whatever. Blabs about journalism because she's like, "Oh, I'm telling everyone now. It doesn't matter. I'm going to burn all my bridges."
The jig's up. Yeah.
And she said, "Well, yeah, that's fine. I thought from the moment that you ate all the croissants that you weren't legit." And she says, "Well, apparently my words don't make a difference to Will anyway. I've been trying to tell him that I want to do this in a sensitive way, and he won't listen to me. My words don't make a difference." And Katie goes, "That's it," and then storms off with a plan.
She's
and
had
her
enough.
plan,
I've had enough for
yeah.
you, Olivia.
her plan is to get Penny to send her everything furiously.
Everything.
And then she
all
goes
the
back to the
pics.
office.
Yeah.
Starts getting out a typewriter and makes the story. Slams it. I don't know.
No, it's just like you.
It might have been.
Huxley, what are you doing?
But it's got a letter missing, so it's got like the letter V missing, so she has to write that bit in every time, and all that with a massive broken leg.
She's like, purple flowers. Can't use the word lavender. I could put lavender.
Slaps it down on Sabrina's desk like, "This is the story you want," is what she says.
No,
it's not the New York Times or something.
She's already handed it. Stop the presses. She's already handed in the story because Sabrina's like, "I don't want this. You've already handed in the story. I'm running that."
Yeah.
And she's like, "But this is about how we should care for nature and all this jazz." And then Sabrina goes, "My God, you're right. I was just so horny that I forgot what I was doing for a women's magazine, like a puff piece about glamping." Because she'd have got that cheap. She'd have got that comic, wouldn't she? Yeah.
Like,
So-
usually don't they just pay? They pay the
Magazine
to come out, so they would have known that she was a journalist anyway. Anyway, doesn't
So
matter.
many plot holes.
This magazine's going out across the country. You should see it like flip. Is it story from
News on the march.
Just one massive sprig of lavender. Lavender, good for what ails you. Another thing, another animal that we missed when they were on the lake. There was otters.
Oh, there
in
was
the middle
yeah.
of the lake.
Oh, they went out to
Otters
see
don't live in the
otters.
middle of the lake. Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
they
that's
eat
nice.
otters, otlets.
It's town near me. Yeah, Olivia has a look at the magazine, hands it to Will like, "You should read this," sort of thing, and he starts reading it in a voice in his head, and starts a slow smile crosses his mountain face.
His craggly mountain eyes. He's reading it with his finger underneath, though. It's like, how? Right? Where did he go to university to become an environmental expert? Like, just walking about outside, no merit of. My dad walks everywhere, and like he wouldn't know how many ring-tailed newts are living in a pond. Like, you can't just exist and expect that to be enough.
I guess so.
Again, it's a Hallmark film. I think I'm looking too much into this, but yes.
Yep. Katie gets a box of lavender delivered to her.
In a
box.
Yeah.
In a box that used to have his grandfather's Civil War pistol in it. Yeah. And a big bottle of like old-time cure-all horny drink. And she's like, again, this was like, oh, that's great. If this had been mentioned at the start, like the lavender field, they went to the lavender field earlier on and then went back later on. Because, Norbert the bear or whatever he was called fell into some brambles and they had to rescue him or whatever, I don't know. And then they see the thing. It would have been a bigger, but the fact that we saw it 10 minutes ago, it's not like that's a callback. Yeah, because yeah. But then we arrive back at the camp. And again, Chase is like, someone else wants to bastard and go to the lavender fields. Take this picnic basket to him. Chase, you're the camp butler. You should be doing this.
This was the bit where I realised Chase is actually dressed like a very camp butler. He's actually dressed like, I didn't see the cravat until now.
Everyone was wearing cravats at one point.
No, I never spotted the cravat until this bit, but I think I kind of faded in and out. He's dressed like Michael Caine and Hannah and their sisters.
Because I'm sure when Katie arrives, her, Olivia, and Penny have all got like travel agent style scarves on.
Yeah.
What's happening? Someone on
Are
set.
we on a
clearly.
flight?
Oh, a lot of vampires. Yeah. So he rides down there, I'm assuming on a horse, probably. And he doesn't see in this field one person stood in it. And I'm like, how has he managed to walk
Bright red
all
dress
these
as well.
trails?
Yeah.
Yeah. How has he managed to walk all these trails without just pumas attacking him constantly?
Because the Hoff was there, clearly.
Remember
Remember that? Remember
Yeah.
that film?
Earlier episode, I don't know what it was called.
Me and
The
my
Hoff-
cat. I can't remember what it's called.
The Hoff beats up bikers while a puma is in a different film.
Yeah.
And he's like, here's your picnic basket. And he stood this far away from her. And he goes, she turns around, she goes, oh, it's you. And I'm like, who do you think it was? It's not like, don't look now. Gee, she turns around.
I think she says something like, I did the thing, like I did the magazine thing. And he says, I'll do you. I'm sure that I've not made that up.
Right
You might
here,
have done.
right now. While Norbert the Bear watches. He holds the camera for us. Yeah, and it's, I think this is that thing of one of the lines is like, again, it's the most beautiful thing is when a heart changes, and he goes to say something, and she just goes, I'm bored of this. Slips on him, deep kissing.
Yeah,
and I was like, fair play to you. He was never going to do it. Him and Chase carrying watermelons for each other, them two, yeah. And
And they've probably
goes,
done it 100 times.
every which way around. And he goes say something again, and then they do another deep kiss with 2 deep kisses. Probably why it's not on dubbed.org. And then we end the film.
She says something like, oh, hang on a second, I could go wild. How about City Girl goes on Appalachian Trail? And I was like, that's already a film. That's that film with Reese Witherspoon where she does a feat in.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah. And she gets some shoe center in that as well.
She does, actually, yeah.
It's this. This is a rip-off of that.
It's all coming together, yeah.
There you go. Except I don't think she's a recovering drug addict or something.
No,
I can't remember.
No. And then he's like, oh, it'll take longer. Why? Am I going to slow you down? Yeah.
100% you are.
Yeah, like literally, I imagine I'm going to have to rescue you from at least 3 mild perils a day. Like, because you'll just be sliding into ravines, eating berries you found, because you're a daft lass. But you know.
They'll probably encounter some actual bears.
Yeah, he'd have to bring Norbert along with him as like.
And she's not scared of wolves, and that's bound to get her eaten.
Yeah, she's going to try and do like Crocodile Dundee on him. And then just... But yeah, and then they're like, oh, let's go and do that then. Because apparently, she keeps saying, I pitched it to Sabrina as well. All the way through, she's like, I pitched it. I'm like, you didn't. You went, I'll do it. That's not pitch, is it? That's just like taking a job that nobody else wants. Yeah, I'll pitch to clean the back of the U-bend. Like, no. But yeah, she pitched it, and we're going to do that. And they're like, yay, we can spend all time together. And he's like, great. God damn, girl. I thought I was going to throw it inside her a time. Can we fuck off? And then I can move on to the next one. I've got my sweet systems of.
It's got the Dennis system.
The Dennis system. Hang on. Only this is fishing, kayaking. But yeah, and then the film ends, and we all go home. And again, like the last sort of 20 minutes ish of it, I thought was genuinely pretty good. Like, but the rest of it felt like an advertisement for Centre Parks.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to be honest. I'd zoned out at that point. The last 10 minutes, I'd just had enough.
Fair enough. That's when it picked up for me.
Yeah.
As soon as he started talking about cowboys, I was like, I'm back on board.
It was fine to watch. It didn't have a ghost phone in it. You know, it was.
Yeah, it was lacking
it wasn't
gritty
particularly-
biscuits. Or whatever they were.
It wasn't particularly weird. It was nice to look at in the background. It rattled on at a pace. So 5 bronze blurbs from me.
Oh, Mark?
2 bronze. Wolf from Gladiators, because I'd written something about Wolf from Gladiators that I didn't use.
Never used it.
I didn't use it.
We can put it in at the end if you want, like you do
I
with
wouldn't
your
bother.
residual facts. If you want, I'm going to give it 1 silver luxury telescope because it was.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the first ones we did of this back in the old days, where it was a lot of very very nice scenery and then other things happening in the background. So yeah, I didn't hate it, but I'm never.
When it started, I honestly I sat there and thought the first 20 minutes I thought I'm really going to enjoy this. I've got a feel I'm really going to enjoy this, but just that little bit too long. And it wasn't even very long.
No,
it wasn't.
They could have cut out 2 of the activities.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say cut out 2 of the actors. It was like there'd be barely anyone in it.
It'd be a one-woman show.
Cut out Chase. Leave. Just have Chase and Sabrina left, and that's it. Just them telling the story through emails that say pictures. Yeah.
that was Nature of Love, not The Nature of Love. That's an actual film. Also known as Love and Glamping or Campeggio e 5 Stelle. 5-star camping in Italy. I don't think they say 5, like we say. Same year as what?
The film was called 5-Star Camping, or it was called 5-Star Camping in Italy, because this isn't filmed in Italy.
No, in Italy it's called 5-Star
right.
Camping.
Sorry.
Very good.
Yeah. No, that's a genuine sort of question. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Right. Same year as Murder in the Vineyard. 2020.
Fuck that, yeah.
Yeah, that was a film. Straight to a TV movie. It was filmed in Squamish, British Columbia. Great place, Dave.
I thought Squamish was like...
Squamish was the language.
Like technical Super Mario Nation sort of thing. Like, Squamish! It's like everything looks slightly blurry and everyone's made of like pumpkins with faces on. I don't know.
Okay, I've not got too many facts for this. Mainly, people were in the same films. It's like it's the machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
The director was Marita Grabiak. Directed episodes of Joss Whedon things like Buffy, Firefly, and Dollhouse. I don't know what the link is there, but now she mainly does films like Christmas on Wheels, 2020, With Love, Christmas, 2017, and my favourite, Random.
Go on. I'll circle back.
My favourite is Random Act of Christmas, 2019.
So, was there a question mark after Christmas in the last one?
Yeah, but there is a comma in it, which is what made me doubt it a little bit. With love, Christmas. With love, Christmas. Christmas isn't a person. I suppose it's Father Christmas. But
he lives in the fishing lake with Mr. Stevens.
Christmas on Wheels as well.
Christmas on Wheels is about Father Christmas who is in a wheelchair.
Hells Angels biker gang, yeah.
That was well. Or it's about Wheels from the Burger King Kids Club with the Santa hat on.
Wow.
Hey, I didn't call him Wheels with a Z. That was the Burger King marketing department.
No, I just forgot he existed. That was all. That was quite special.
Katie Emily Ullerup. I think I'm pronouncing her name probably wrong. I think it's Danish surname. Was apparently thank you. Was apparently 4 months pregnant during filming this. I couldn't tell. So fair enough.
Yes, that's why none of the stunts were stunts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right, that makes sense.
Has done TV work such as Battlestar Galactica and everyone's in Smallville. Everyone's in. I should really watch some Smallville because I'll be like, I kind of recognise them. Weird parallel careers though, because she's in the Hallmark series Signed, Sealed and Delivered, which is like the postal mystery series that we've mentioned before.
Did we not do one of those?
No, I think we said we would, but then we never did.
We did something that had a post office in.
Oh, we've done many things with it.
There's definitely a post office one we've done. Yeah.
Where they cut all the paper out and it spells out like it was Derek.
Yeah, that was was that your man from Cheers? Was that not Norm, the other one? Cliff out of Cheers was the killer. But it was also Dad's friend.
There was an explosion on a boat.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not that film. We need the names of these things. We can't show there was a lot of harpooning.
But she's got that side of her career, and then she does things like Romancing the Birthday Girl, 21, and mindless sci-fi. Oh, that is a Hallmark. Sorry, I think I just caught my eye. Romancing the Birthday Girl just feels weird to say.
It's a spin-off of Romancing the Stone, a previous 100 Things We Learned from Film.
Very good. Just do it. Just do all that for me. That's great.
I'm trying to build bridges here, and you're burning them.
The other half of her career is mindless sci-fi and asylum projects like Asteroid, Final Impact.
I don't think we've
done. Put it on the list.
I've seen that.
Because we've done Global Catastrophe, but I don't think it was ever caused by an asteroid. So
no, it was just the Earth had enough.
Yeah,
I've just had enough, lads.
It was like there's too many ham radios on the crust. So
the Blackburn Asylum, 2015, and
I don't think you can say that.
And the Witch Slayer Gretel, 2012.
The Blackbird Asylum, was that not the Michael Flatley film we did?
Yeah,
I'll fight you behind this bin, mono.
Sorry again.
Again, no. We'll have you back anytime. Witch Slayer Gretel is like, you remember when they did the Hansel and Gretel Witch Slayers with Hawkeye?
Yeah, I've not seen any of them, but
it's the knockoff version of that, and I did.
Is it really?
I did watch the.
So that side of her career is these films, like not
She's
these films,
work.
but like the non-Hallmark ones.
She's got a
child. Oh yeah, definitely. And Will, Christopher Russell, has been in George Romero films like Land of the Dead, and then he was in the Day of the Dead TV series. So he's got like I don't know that it's a reoccurring character. I think it's just
as zombie, because that doesn't count, does it? Like
a handsome lad that turns into a zombie, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Also, Newlywed and Dead, 2016, and V is for Vengeance, 2022. After learning that their younger sibling escaped an earlier kidnapping attempt that also killed their parents, two estranged sisters must join forces to rescue her from a group of bloodthirsty vampires. Sounds
that took a turn at the
like
end.
Us.
Yeah. I always thought, it's like Women Taken.
Yeah.
But
then vampires.
Vengeance. V is also for vampires.
Yeah, going list.
And finally, Olivia, who you said was a really robotic actress,
is
Erin Boyes.
Cyborg CPX32.
We've come across her before, quite recently actually. She was Judy Carruthers in It's a Wonderful Knife. So was that one of the aunts? I think didn't get a lot of screen time in it.
The aunt was the aunt was decent Canadian character.
Yeah, but she was married to another woman. I think that might be Judy.
That might have been Judy Carruthers, because she didn't say anything. She was just
the other one got a lot more time on the thing, but she didn't.
Froze her
so I think that might be her.
Yeah.
And thus, James Fax is saved from redevelopment for another day.
You.
Imagine you're in a tent. No. Weirdly, right, there was loads of really high praise for this for all the sites I usually check for reviews. 7s, 8s, stuff. Very few low scores. So I'm really happy that weren't like just this is terrible. Or this is so cringe. I'm like, it's Hallmark, So I had to go with a 4 out of 10 review. Cringeworthy but gorgeous scenery by Rebecca Rocks 20. She has rocked 20 times. No more, no less. Christopher Russell seems fated to be paired with pregnant co-stars, distractingly striving to hide their conditions. Strong opening statement. I need to know more now. Who's Christopher Russell been working with? Is he responsible? Is he just so potent women in the area? But that's neither here nor there. What we have here is a by-the-numbers Hallmark plot unredeemed by interesting character development, outstanding acting, or sparky writing. In fact, the writing was cringeworthy. Ugh. Will is touted as some big expert consultant in conservation, but never professes any kind of university education, and anything else is never even mentioned about his background. Katie is the daughter of corporate lawyer and university professor, yet she's incredibly ignorant, and the samples of her writing we are treated to are inane and insipid. I mean, she's writing 20-word blurbs, but, her behaviour is also incredibly childish. I think she's supposed to be perky, but she just comes across as silly. More people should use the word silly. I think it's very good. Also, still another case of too many cosmetics for the role.
What?
Don't know what that means. She's a woman. She's got too much on her face.
Hair and makeup.
It's a Hallmark film. Anyway, as for chemistry, it's not good when you want to look away when the leads are having a moment. Only bit I'm there for. Christopher Russell, what can I say? He is so handsome that it's like he stepped off the cover of a paperback romance. Love on the High Seas. Unfortunately, it seems like he's always plays mellow, rather passive romantic heroes. In most, if not all, the roles I've seen him in, he seems detached and like he's just going through the motions. Maybe that's because it's Hallmark just plugs him into roles where hunkiness is more important than his character's personality. I'd love to see him in another type of part. So with Sabrina. It's too bad if they are just taking advantage of his good looks, because in real life he seems like an authentic, nice, if private, happily married for years father of 2. In fact, a real-life Hallmark hero 10 years down the road. I just thought that end bit was bizarre, so I thought I'd include that. I trimmed some out, but yeah.
Is it written by AI, that?
No, it's written by Rebecca Rocks 20.
Oh, right.
I think Rebecca Rocks has had words with the solicitors from that comment about he's a very private man.
Christopher on his door.
Rebecca Rock
you
20
should
rocks
be
up.
Aliens. Yeah. I mean, it's a Hallmark film. Well, I don't know what you were expecting, Rebecca Rocks. I thank you for your input, but I don't honestly. I thought it was all right. But yeah, just don't go within 100 yards of his house or his kids, his 2 kids, or her kid probably as well. And that's it. That in conclusion, because that's how we end. That was 2020's or 2023's Camping is Fun in Italy. Or what was it called? The nature of love.
Yeah.
Nature of
Love and glamping.
Love and glamping. I
The
enjoyed
blurbs
it.
that time forgot.
Shove your tent up. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I was going to say your favourite quotes from the film, but I honestly can't remember a single line of dialogue from this film.
I'd like to
Jason,
widen
your
my
Camp
horizons.
Butler.
Oh, the Camp Butler, widen your horizons. It's a It's a gold-crested sparrow. Here's my look. I'll show you my luxury telescope, my young fellow.
There we go.
Yes.
Birds, then nature's radio.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if we can hear some of their top 10 hits. It's just a...
Is it turn?
Oh, right.
Stop.
Always
this.
one, isn't it? Always one. Right, say goodbye, boys and girls.
Bye.
Oh.
Old man time's gone.